Do you think the only way to build $1 million agency is to have a team as large as Ogilvy? You're not alone, and it makes complete sense. It's completely logical. If you are going to build $1 million agency, that means you need a lot of high-paying clients, and high-paying clients means big projects, and big projects mean a lot of work, and a lot of work means who's going to do all of this work? My team, my employees. Hence, I need to create a team. And yet, I speak to so many small agency owners who have created a team of in-house and outsourced employees. And what do I find? They're just barely scraping by. They may be generating a lot of revenue, but they're not profiting at all. In fact, they're probably working much harder than they would be if they were just a solopreneur doing work directly for clients. Now, one of the biggest reasons that most people assume that you need employees to scale your business is because there is a fundamental mindset block that most people have, and that is small businesses and smaller projects, the kinds of projects that 1, 2, or 3 people can handle by themselves. You can't possibly charge more than $5,000, $10,000 for that. That's an assumption that I have proven wrong time and again with all of the solopreneur clients that I've had pay me $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 up front for full branding and website projects. I've also had companies where there's an owner and they have a bunch of employees, but the project itself is definitely something that me and Steve can handle. No problem, with our eyes closed. When most people tell me they want to build a big agency and build a team, what they're usually telling me is, I want to make more money and make more profit, and I think I need a team to do it. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. In fact, if you want to build a multi-million-dollar agency with a team, I still believe that you need to find profitability in your business without that team first, so that you have the time and the money and the space to grow that team. I hired before I was ready, before I was profitable, before I had enough cash flow coming into me reliably every month. You know what happened? It landed me in debt. I've since learned that I could actually make as much or more money than I was even trying to make with an agency just by myself and with Steve in a 2-person agency. And the key to it is hitting that golden profitability ratio. Let me show you. The first thing we want to do is we want to work out your no BS golden profitability ratio. This is going to tell us exactly how much money you are able to make using your current pricing and the amount of time that you spend on each project. Let me show you how. Let's say you have a package that you charge $10,000 for. And let's say everything all in, project management, emails, calls, the work, everything takes you 100 hours to complete this project. Here's how we figure out your ratio. We're going to take 10,000 and we're going to divide it by 100. And that's going to get us 100 to 1. That means that for every hour you spent, you made an average of $100. If we now take that 100 and we multiply it by 80, we're going to get 8,000. This is the max amount of money you can make in 1 month according to the golden profitability ratio. And this ratio is using my 50-25-25 formula as a basis to decide how much you can make. Now, if you make $8,000 per month on average using this particular package and this amount of time, it's because you have time to also work on your business. Remember, we always want to plan in for working on our business and having time off instead of just having those be nice to haves on the side when there's time. That's how you get burnout. That's how you end up in a place where you're always working in your business and not on your business. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so once we have this and we have this is our golden ratio, we know that this is the maximum amount of money we can make without killing ourselves. Once we know this, now we have a lot of information. Well, at this price, if we could get this down to 50 hours, then instead of 10,000 divided by 100, it would be 10,000 divided by 50, and then our profitability ratio would be 200 to 1. And guess what? Our max income just doubled to $16,000 a month. Same price, same package, twice as much money. So we don't even have to necessarily increase our prices in order to increase our profitability. In fact, one of the best ways, especially if you're price conscious and you get fearful about the idea of raising your prices, don't raise your prices yet. Work on getting this number down by half or even 25%. Imagine now if we could get it down to 50 hours and we could increase the price to $15,000. Now we have $15,000 divided by 50. I wasn't ready for this, so I'm going to say it right now. $15,000 divided by 50 is 300 to 1. I guess I could have done that in my head. 300 to 1, that is a $24,000 per month potential income. Do you see how once we know this ratio, we can get a lot of information about how we can and should focus on building our business? We want to focus on decreasing the amount of hours we spend, and then we can increase the amount of dollars we spend. Guess what? We have plenty of time and energy to do it because in this scenario, we've got 80 hours a month to work on our business and still have our nights and weekends off. Now, let me show you what it looks like to build a $1 million agency. $1 million agency means you're making on average $83,000 per month. Okay, well, if you're able to charge $41,500, it's about what our 2-day intensive is, and you're able to do it in 40 hours, divide this by 40, and you get 1,037 to 1. And if we multiply 1,037 to 80, we get 83,000. So two $41,000 projects a month that take 40 hours to deliver. And all of a sudden we have a $1 million agency with just 2 people. Now, how do you get this number to 40 hours when you are charging $41,000? You must need to do a lot of work for that, right? Yes and no. We've gotten our price up to $40,000 because we have spent a lot of time becoming more skilled at what we do, right? So I can do the things that used to take me many more hours. I can do them in a lot less time. We have increased our demand by doing a lot of authority content. So people come to me, they've read my book, they've read my Forbes columns, they trust me, and they're willing to pay more for that trust. And we have tons of systems that we use to make sure that we are only spending our time on the parts that matter most. And we've developed so many systems over the years that mean that we don't have to do anything except the parts of the project that matter most. That means those hours are spent doing creative work, building the actual website, writing the copy, the most important parts, the things that are custom to each client. Everything else, we either have templatized, we've done it a million times, we already have the work, we have somebody else do a lot of the production work for a very small amount of money. All of those things allow us to make $40,000 on a project that takes much fewer hours than you would think. And that's how you build a $1 million agency without employees.